The classic story of villain turned hero. Well, today in this video, I'm going to go over 10 television heroes that were villains at first. Welcome back to Enchant Films. Let's get into the video. Number 10, The Green Ranger, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It goes without saying that Tommy's sudden shift in moral character is one that is often talked about when it comes to this topic. Tommy Oliver was introduced in a 5-part episode as a new kid at school. Besides his good looks and devilish charm, he catches the eyes of the Rangers, but also gets Rita Repulsa's attention. She decided to use him as her slave and put him under a spell. She creates the first evil ranger with a strength that surpassed the others. He successfully destroys the command center and infects Alpha with a virus. The Rangers manage to break the spell and he becomes the most successful hero to date. He goes on to become the Red Ranger in other shows and title characters.
It's where you belong. Will you join us, Tommy?
Number 9, Chuck Bass, Gossip Girl. Chuck Bass isn't the worst of the worst when it comes to antagonists, but his overall character change throughout the show gives him a spot on the list. When he's first introduced, he's known as a school bad boy who does things for his own gain. In the first season, he attempts to assault someone before he's stopped. He even puts other dirty secrets and tries to ruin others' reputation like Nate's. Chuck often blackmailed the people around him for fun or for his advantage. As the show progressed, his character changed to show more emotion and to be more caring. He comes to realize who he's closest to and people he loves. He shows morals when it comes to Blair's happiness as well. Number 8, Negan, The Walking Dead. Negan is best described as an anti-hero rather than being a good guy. At the beginning of his indolent in The Walking Dead in Season 6, Negan was a superior and scarier villain. He was the leader of the Saviors, but acted more like a dictator or cult leader. No one challenged his authority or even kneeled to him. He also happened to have brutally murdered many people and main characters, but as the show progressed, Negan showed moments of being morally good. He showed kindness towards children and even killed one of his men for attempted rape. During his imprisonment in Alexandria, he donned a nicer personality. He did return to his old ways, but ultimately left it behind and returned to Alexandria.
Magnificent! I can't be the only one to notice that you got a fucking fat lady in charge of keeping track of rations, can I? I do believe.
Number 7, Cole Turner, Charmed. Fans heavily dislike Cole Turner in the original Charmed series. To start, he was a half-demon who was tasked with destroying the Charmed Ones. He was a powerful demon who was loyal to the source of all evil. He weaseled his way into their lives to get a closer advantage. He didn't expect to fall in love with one of the sisters and ultimately betrayed the Triad and killed them. These were brownie points in his favor. Cole did turn good for a short period of time in order to live a life with Phoebe. His good was short-lived. He was soon possessed and became the new source of all evil. Over time, Cole showed to still love and cared for Phoebe and found ways to help.
Very special. Turn a demon. Something very special indeed.
Number 6, Cheryl Riverdale. What's a teen drama without the evil queen bee? In Riverdale, the role was originally Cheryl's. She was the it girl of the school and didn't let anyone challenge her otherwise. She fed off the fear and intimidation she instilled in others. Not to mention she was conceited and self-absorbed and used small moments of kindness for her own advantage. But as the show progressed and she recovered from the shocking truth of her twin brother's death, she became her own form of good. Her evil and dark ways still progressed as she formed her own gang and took revenge on others. But she did become more open later on and took a liking to certain characters and their feelings.
Drag my boyfriend into this.
What do you...
Oh no.
What?
Number 5, Steve Harrington, Stranger Things. Steve Harrington is now one of the Stranger Things beloved characters, but he didn't start out that way. Fans originally didn't like Steve when he was first introduced. He was conceited and thought too highly of himself. He was also a bit of a bully to Jonathan Byers. Fans also didn't take kindly to the way he treated his girlfriend who was dealing with the disappearance of her best friend. By the end of season 1, he does a 180. He heroically saves the day and in the second season becomes a title character and ally to the kids. He more specifically becomes close to Dustin and becomes an authority figure who looks after them. Steve redeemed himself from the first season and became a good guy. Number 4, Crowley Supernatural. Crowley is a villain that still sways between having his good moments and being utterly selfish over his own agenda. Supernatural fans know that a huge antagonist Sam and Dean was to Crowley, a powerful demon who became the king of hell. He made their lives quite literally a living hell, but soon he changed in season 5. When Lucifer is released from his prison, he helped Sam and Dean reseal the gates of hell. While still technically a bad guy, he often ended up helping them. He helped obtain the rings of the 4 horsemen, helped Castiel obtain the power of purgatory, and even helped Dean transition into a demon. He became a perfect anti-hero. Number 3, Petra, Jane the Virgin. Fans started to feel some sympathy towards Petra from Jane the Virgin, but it didn't make up for the evil deeds she did at the beginning of the show. Petra came from a rough life in the Czech Republic, and her relationship with her mother swayed some of her overall actions. In the beginning, she did whatever necessary against her husband. She tried to frame him for domestic abuse, and even hired an escort to ruin his relationship with Jane. She and her mother even take Ivan hostage due to their owning money. Thankfully, later on, she reinvents herself and tries to rectify her wrongdoings. She even becomes friends with Jane. Number 2, Damon, the Vampire Diary. Damon's villain role was short-lived past the second season. He's another character that's more anti-hero at first, but then becomes a softie. Damon is the main antagonist at the beginning of the show who returns to Mystic Falls to torment his brother's life. He mercilessly kills people to get the townsfolk spooked and to get his brother's secret in trouble. He also uses others for his own gain, like the town council. Things drastically changed when new vampires appeared, making his life difficult. He ended up siding with his brother and Elena, as well as her friends to save the day. Number 1, Klaus, the Vampire Diary. Klaus Michelson is the ultimate villain who turned good and gave Damon a run for his money. He's also a prime example of creating a perfect villain character that had fans sympathizing for despite all the wrong he did. He shows up in Mystic Falls to fulfill a prophecy of becoming a hybrid, as well as retrieve his family. He effectively ruins the main characters' lives. He kills countless people, including Aunt Jenna. Later on, he comes up to them when outsiders pose a threat to him. He becomes even more morally conscious in his own spin-off show, The Originals. But don't worry, he still has these evil ways when needed. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.